Si ya formas parte de las personas
YouTube creators. If no one clicks your video, nothing else matters. Not your content, not your script, not your editing, because zero
a new pen, rewriting the story. Hello to my old ways, goodbye to the nosebleeds. You fighting to stay here, you probably the OD. Ain't finna pop for no reason. I don't throw shots, I run legions. I've been going over the top with no queen, been die with no regrets. This is my season, it's the bow trigger. Gift that keep giving, nothing to wrap up. I ripped a new ribbon, they wanted to catch up. Wanted my good riddance, you saw me a rock bottom. You wanted a new winner, I paid the way for 'em. Take the pain, double it, put it in wait form. Safe to say, trouble ain't what you was made for. Keeping a ring on, I told them all game on the minute I came on. So glad I went to lose my mind. No question if it's wrong or right. Ain't no way to tell which way it's gonna go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So glad I went to lose my mind. No question if it's wrong or right. And now it's too late. No way to take it wrong.
Las nuevas bebidas de fruta
Welcome everyone to IOR Season 12. We are in the penultimate round of the season and Omar's already retired from the session. That's quite interesting to see. Omar in championship contention at the moment. Charlie's done the fastest lap, a 15.3 for the man in the Mercedes, who's back after a couple of races, and well, it's gonna be interesting with Omar starting at the back once again. Might be putting himself in a little bit of a risky position to start this Mexican GP. Charlie in the pit lane, followed by Wilco's done a 16.9, a motorway 4 times lower than him. Got his teammate Pitbull in P4, 2 tenths behind his teammate Motorway, 17.5 for the man in the Williams. Jordi coming into the pit lane. Then we get Dino on an out lap. It's gonna be a 10-car race today. Still gonna be pretty fun to watch how this season's gonna end. Omar gonna be starting from the pit lane then. No, not from the pit lane, but it's gonna be starting last once again. Following Dino to his out lap is gonna be probably, yes, definitely gonna be the next driver to start a flying lap. We get then Wilco, who's on another flying lap, even with I think is on the, or maybe on his second run, but in the same tires apparently. Following him into the final sector, Wilco, the man in the kick, is gonna come to the final corner. He's gonna open the battery now. In the line it goes, and it's gonna be a 16.4 for Wilco. Gotta see what Equastar is gonna do. He's still in the pit lane. He's coming out of pit lane now. Gonna follow Dino through his flying lap, following him into the main straight. The man on the Ferrari is coming into turn 1. He's not gonna attack the outside curb now. He will a little bit. Attacking a little bit the inside curbs there. Maybe we'll get a little slipstream here. We come then into the next corner. There we go. Beginning of sector 2 for Dino Bino Bambino. We're gonna follow him now in through the S's. Might be possibly the trickiest part of the track to not cut corners, especially the last one, I believe. Seems to have a little bit of a slide there, Dino Bino Bambino. We follow him now into the end of sector 2. It's gonna be a 57.1. I don't know how close is he gonna be to Wilco. I really don't expect him to be close to Charlie. Following then Dino into the final corner. He's gonna come into the line. It's gonna be a 16.5, 1 tenth slower than Wilco. Is looking really competitive actually. Can be there maybe to fight for a podium. Charlie looking really strong once again. 1 second quicker than Wilco. Gotta see what Equastar can do. He should be at the front there as well. Probably is gonna be an interesting fight between these two. Well, we'll see if Omar can do something starting at the back. Going on now with Equastar into the main straight. Takes a lot the outside curb there, hits the inside curb, maybe a little bit of understeer there into the corner. Well, let's not forget the championship leader, looking to win this, his first championship in his IOR career. He's got the first purple sector. Well, currently 10 points ahead of Omar, 15 points ahead of Joseph Vasily. So, well, he has a shot at the championship today. He needs to outscore Omar by more than 31 points to win it. And he's gonna be the title winner this season. Could happen today in Mexico. We will see if it is gonna be the case or not in the end. Finishing sector 2 of 56.1. I wonder how far is he gonna be from Charlie. Well, he needs to have the pace at least of Charlie if he wants to be in contention for this race. He needs to try finish ahead of Omar somehow. To follow now Equasar into the line. What time is he gonna set? A 15.4. 1/10 slower than Charlie. He's definitely on the pace then. Of course he has to be on the pace. He's fighting for a championship. Now Charlie is starting another lap as well. Equasar seems to have saved one set of tires. Has not done all his shots he could be doing. Revenge now up into P4. A 16.4. Motorway up into P5. Motorway is always improving with every single week. He's getting quicker. Now is close to Wilco, close to Revenge. Dookie there joining the session. We're gonna have 11 drivers then in this Mexican GP. 11 drivers like we got last week. Jordi still in the middle sector, has not been able to set a lap yet. I'm gonna go on with Charlie, the man that's improving 6 temps. How is he improving 6 temps? That's a massive improvement. Charlie's absolutely flying today. Well, we're gonna follow him then into the final corner and into the line, and what a lap time this is gonna be. Through 7 temps. What is this time from Charlie? A 14.6. Well, Equasar is gonna need to find a lot of time if he wants to catch up to the man in the Mercedes. It's gonna be definitely a very exciting championship finale between these three, between Equasar, between Joseph Vesely, and between Omar. Omar that will be starting at the back today, same way as he did in Las Vegas. Well, I think they can let Charlie pull away in the distance. He's not a contender for the championship anymore. So yeah, it's not a big deal for Equasar to let him be at the front. He just needs to make sure he is in front of Omar through the race. Gonna go on with Wilco now into the end of Sector 1. He's gonna be improving 4 temps, also doing a big jump there, the man in the kick. Man who's still looking for his first podium in the league. If I'm not wrong, he still has not been able to get it. Last week he got a really good quali in Las Vegas, but wasn't able to make it into the podium. Had an incident in lap 1, I think he made a mistake himself. Following now Wilco into the end of Sector 2, improving 6 tenths. Charlie has left the session. Well, he's gonna be starting on pole anyway, but yeah, he's capable of joining back through the PS invite. So let's keep focusing on Wilco's lap. Improving 6 tenths, could be something even bigger coming into this final sector. Follow now Wilco into the line, improves 6 tenths. It's a 15.7 for Wilco. Equasar now, who definitely needs the time to at least defend his P2. Joseph Vesely once again struggling in qualifying, and well, still gonna have time to improve that time, though he is not looking really strong in this part of the season. He still has a shot at the championship. It's only 15 points behind. You never know what can happen. So yeah, let's not discard him from the fight yet. So, well, first of all, he needs to be alive for next week's race. He still needs to be in contention. That's the first step. Then maybe gonna have to hope for a miracle though to keep himself in contention for the championship. Three-way fight between Equasar, Omar, and Joseph Vesely. Who will take the title this season? That's gonna be an interesting question to answer. Will be answered maybe today, maybe next week. No, definitely will be next week, but we don't know if it might be today. Equasar needs to outscore after this race Omar and Joseph by 31 points, by more than 31 points, so he wins the championship. Following now Equasar into the final couple of corners, he's going to meet one Ferrari. I think it's Dino Vino Bambino on an outlap. Gonna go on with Equasar then into the main straight. Equasar now will start his qualifying run. Into the main straight he goes, the man in the Racing Bulls, looking for his first championship in the story of the league. Going all the way around the outside, is gonna go down into third gear. How much is gonna be able to improve? Can he get close to Charlie's time? He's really far behind at the moment, 8 tenths lower than his closest rival for today's race. He's improving 1/10. It's a good point where to start, but he's gonna need to find much more in the following 2 sectors. I wonder how much Charlie can improve in the remainder of the lap. Following now Equasar into the S's. How much is he improving in sector 2? He's improving 3 tenths. Not bad at all. Still gonna have this final sector to improve a little bit more. Oh, he's got a little bit wide there, but he doesn't invalidate. He's been pushing hard this lap to put himself a little bit closer to the man in the Mercedes. In the line he goes, improves 4 tenths. For around 4 tenths, a little bit less than 4 tenths lower than Charlie. Charlie is on the pit lane. It's not gonna be leaving the pit lane for another lap. It's just not more time for it. Motorway puts himself up into a P4. It's his probably best position ever. He will be starting a race. Following now Revenge, Equasar's teammate, may play an important role as well, defending against Omar and Joseph Vesely if needed. Improves 3 tenths, still slower than Motorway. Where has Motorway found this pace? We follow now Dino Bino Bambino. Hello, Mr. Baraka. It's great to have you in the commentary box. Our Season 5 champion present once again. And well, we are on for a great championship decider, possibly, maybe today. If Equasar manages to outscore Omar and Joseph by more than 31 points. If it's not the case, then it's gonna be into Brazil next week for the season finale. Joseph Vesely at the moment on a lap, attacking the first couple of corners. Pitbull has retired from the session. Motorway's teammate doing a massive run so far. Equasar then will be on P2. It's clearly gonna be a pole for Charlie. I guess it's gonna be his first pole of the season as well. Hasn't got a pole position before. Equasar needs to give it all to win this championship. But well, most important than that, needs to finish ahead of Omar and Joseph Vesely on this race if he wants to nearly guarantee he's gonna be winning this championship coming into Brazil next week. Following now Joseph Vesely into the end of sector 2. How much is he improving? 6 tenths, a massive improvement for Joseph. I think he can put that car maybe up into P4 if he nails perfectly this this final sector. You gotta see if Joseph can put it up ahead of Motorway. In the line he goes, and yes, he can. Actually a P3 for Joseph Vesely. 15.6. We got 2 championship contenders there up in second and third. Omar gonna be starting on P10. And well, we got Revenge in the middle, who can play for Equasar in case he's we'll see if Revenge can do anything against Omar in this case, because yeah, he's not gonna be able to do anything against Joseph, who is in P3. But yeah, he can try and back off Omar for a little bit of time. That could be an interesting game from the man in the Racing Bulls, and could be key in having a teammate to help you in the remainder of the season to fight for the championship. Pole for Charlie, like I said, the first one of the season. Might be a little bit of a redemption for Baku. That seemed like was going to be a clear pole from him, then crashed out after his first run. And yeah, didn't end up winning that race as well. So maybe a little redemption for the man in the Mercedes. Can take his second win of the season maybe today as well. We'll see. And it's only 2 Two more races to finish the season. Welcome back to IOR Season 12. Today we will be racing at the Mexican GP. We got 3 championship contenders this season, Equasar, Omar and Joseph Vesely, separated by only 15 points in the standings. Omar has won the last 4 races. Equasar though has a 10-point advantage coming here and could win the championship today if everything goes his way. 36 laps of racing today, a long DRS straight in the main straight, then a shorter DRS into the next straight, both of them in sector 1. Then we have a very short DRS zone in the end of sector 2. Probably gonna see a lot of overtaking in the main straight. Can be a very crazy start like we will see now in the past clips. Now let's go with the one in season 2. Bialo will get a mega start here. Here we follow Chekos there into the main straight, fighting with Yanni. Now Bialo's gonna go all the way around the outside. Coming into the next corner, he's gonna go all the way around the outside, though he's gonna go off the road, still gonna take P2. Now a very hard accident between these two, Yanni and Atom Kev in season 2. Mega crash there into the wall, ending both races. Very unfortunate for the two of them. Now let's go with Chekos versus Bialo. They're tapping the back of him a little bit. They're gonna go side by side into turn 5. Chekos gonna get done a beautiful move around the outside. Though maybe a little polemic though to the previous touch. Now Cucumber is gonna lose it on his own. He's gonna go into the wall and, well, unfortunate DNF. Well, and what we have here, it's rain. We have rain here in the Mexican GP. Oh, Omar and Duki have been disqualified from the formation lap. I gotta say, Duki's starting on the intermediate tires. It's an interesting call. He's expecting the rain to leave soon, and well, if anyone saw that Jarno Opmi race from a while where, well, he started on the inters, managed to win it in the end, or from years ago, I don't know if this could play in the hands of Duki in the end, or not, if he has to avoid a pit stop. I don't know, could work, maybe not. We'll see how it plays. Has nothing to lose starting at the back. Get the previous winners of this track in the past. Baraka winning in season 2, Thales winning on season 3, Joseph in season 6, and Archives in season 9. Well, Joseph is the only driver in the current grid that has a win on this track. I don't know if he can repeat today. He's starting on P3. He's could be on for a solid performance, the man in the Haas. And yeah, we got a full wet weather, my friend. It's gonna be a crazy race. Can be interesting for the championship as well. How the contenders are gonna play with these conditions. Omar may not get the best start, having in mind he's been disqualified from the formation lap. And well, basically everyone is on the in the full wet tire except Duki, who is on the inters. Well, we're gonna go on with the race now then. Lights out and away we go. Who's gonna get the better start? That's Wilco, who's stopped in the start. He's got a pretty bad start. Wilco's falling down to already P10. Equasar is on the inside of Charlie. Charlie's going very defensive there down the inside. Equasar is going to try and take as much risks as needed for the championship, but has to back off there. Also doesn't need a crash. No, he's actually trying to go side by side with Charlie there, but Charlie will manage to hold in front. It's going to be staying in front. Omar's moved up to P6. Omar's attacking now Pitbull for the P5 of the race. Round the outside goes Omar. Dino Bino Bambino dropping to P7 of the race. Pitbull around the outside and, well, cannot do anything else against Omar. Though Revenge still in front of Omar. This is going to be interesting to see because it's the teammate of the man that's fighting for the championship. Baracus' prediction: P1 Charlie, P2 Equasar, P3 Joseph, P4 Revenge, P5 Omar. Duki on the intermediate tires seems to, well, has won a little bit of places. He's attacking now Motorway. He's gonna go all the way around the outside. Dino Bino Bambino at the back of Pitbull. is going to be attacking down the inside. There he goes. Omar fighting against Revenge here. Omar's going to have a dive there down the inside. He's hit the back of him a little bit there. So will not be getting the move done. He's going to try and attack into the next, into the main straight. Oh, and Omar has a slide there. Omar's gone off the road. Dino Bino Bambino is going to be able to maybe close a little bit the gap on him. And Equasar is taking the lead of the race around the outside. Equasar moves up into the lead. Equasar is your new race leader for this Mexican GP. Pitbull winning the place against Dino Bino Bambino. We're having a fight there between Joseph Vasily and Revenge for P3 of the race. Charlie trying to fight back against Equasar, but Equasar is looking very comfortable there in the lead at the moment. Omar, meanwhile, at the back of Revenge and Joseph Vasily. Joseph and Revenge doing a good job at the moment. It's getting pretty interesting in the lead of the race. We got a nice fight between Equasar and Charlie. Now we'll have a nice fight between Joseph Vasily, Revenge, and Omar as well. Dino Bino Bambino's got ahead of Pitbull once again. And there goes the team game. Revenge at the moment has managed to back off Omar in this championship fight. Omar, that's gonna be now, we'll see if he can get past or not. The man on the Racing Bulls is gonna have a little bit of a slide coming into the corner. It's gonna be a little bit risky to try and dive it here down the inside. Now we got another fight back between Omar and the Revenge. Coming into the next straight, into the main straight. Equasar now has set the fastest lap of the race. I wonder if Equasar actually was using a wet setup in qualifying, because he is now. This is gonna get very interesting into turn 1. There goes Revenge, there goes Omar as well. Omar is gonna try and get the position, has gone very deep there. And that's going to be apparently 2-on-1 for Omar. And well, he's got a little bit tapped there by Revenge. He's going to try and get the move all the way around the outside. Now we'll see if Revenge is going to try and attack. Omar's probably using very low wings to be able to get that move done. Joseph Vasily should have defended harder, having in mind his fight for the championship is on. And now Omar 4.5 behind Charlie. And Equasar meanwhile starts pulling away in the lead of the race. I guess there's little more Revenge can do about this. Joseph Vasily also losing ground here. We get then Equasar leading 1.2 seconds ahead of Charlie. Omar in P3 of the race. 4.7, 4.8 seconds behind Charlie. Equasar showing very good pace on the wet. Charlie still trying to not lose that much ground against his rival for the race win. Omar trying to gain a little bit of time on Charlie here. The gap between him and Equasar is 6 seconds. We'll see if this gap will get closed up or not at the moment. Well, seems Omar has very good straight line speed. We'll see how much can he close here into the main straight. He's gonna have to pass Charlie first though. He's blasting the battery now. Though it's Charlie also losing pretty good amount of time compared to Equasar. And yeah, Charlie's definitely struggling in these wet conditions. Equasar flying at the moment. It's already 1.7 seconds in front of Charlie. Equasar doing what he needs to take the win of this championship. Dino Bino Bambino attacking Joseph Vasily for that P5 of the race. Dino could get the move done very soon, probably into the main straight. Shouldn't be that hard to get it done. Omar closing now up the gap to Charlie and Equasar. Well, Dino Bino Bambino right at the back of Joseph Vasily. He's gonna be now trying to attack for position into the main straight. Omar now sets the fastest lap of the race. Follow now Dino Bambino at the back of Joseph Vesely. Unable to get any more pace apart from that, but he's actually doing very well to stick to the man in the Haas. Omar's closing up the gap to Charlie. He's not deploying too much battery. Equasar and Charlie maybe are pushing a little bit more. Equasar at the moment managing the race really well at the front. Revenge already 5 seconds behind Omar. And Dino Bambino still stuck at the back of Joseph Vesely. He probably should try and get that moved on soon because he seems to be losing a lot of time. I'm not sure if he's gonna be capable of doing so, but he should try. Charlie's coming into the pit lane. This is a move I definitely wasn't expecting. What's he gonna go for? Is it interconditions already? Yeah, Charlie's placing the intermediate tires. Is going for an early call. Joseph Vesely is in the pit lane as well. Dino Bambino is staying out to... Well, he's gonna extend a little bit more on those full wet tires. He doesn't believe it's the right call. We'll see where Charlie's gonna come out. First of all, he's gonna be right behind Wilco. Wilco, who once again didn't get a good start like last week in Vegas. This race could go either way depending on the strategy drivers decide. Charlie is at the moment, well, is gonna be stuck a little bit behind the motorway and Wilco. And this is definitely gonna cost him some time. Joseph Vesely, 9 seconds behind Dookie. Dookie with a time penalty already. We got 7 drivers that have not made their stop. There goes Wilco battling against Motorway. This is making Charlie lose a bunch of time. I'd also gotta say, maybe Equasar could think about pitting now. He will have a free track most likely. If he does it right now. Equasar, Charlie losing a bunch of time in this fight. Attacks now Wilco for position. Side by side go the two of them banging wheels. Is any of this two gonna dive into the pit lane? Yes. Omar stays out. He's staying out on the full wet tires. I'm not sure if this is a good or bad call. Revenge is gonna stay out on the full wets as well. Equasar now on the intermediate tires. It's gonna go. And it's gonna fall behind Dino Bambino. But it's gonna be a little bit behind. Yeah, it's gonna be able to get the move done quite soon. It's actually 5 seconds behind. It's a pretty big gap. Omar in the lead of the race, followed by Revenge, followed by Dino Bambino, followed by Equasar now. 5 seconds behind Dino. Depending if this is a good or the wrong call, it could give him the win, could give him the championship maybe. We follow now Equasar into the second sector. And I believe, well, he's starting to close a little bit the gap. Charlie has lost 4 seconds to Equasar due to the struggles. Now Omar maybe will want to pit as well. I wonder if Omar's gonna think about the stop. He could come in this lap. He will probably fall into traffic though. He will stay out for one more lap. I'm not sure this is the right call. Equasar is closing very, very quickly. Unless he's waiting for the track to totally dry up, then it would be a totally different story. Dino is staying out. No, he's coming into the pit lane. He believes the Inters is the right tire to be on. Motorway's got a time penalty now. Revenge is staying out in P2. 10 seconds behind Omar. Equasar is 17 seconds behind Omar. Omar on the full wet tire. But yeah, Equasar is going to be closing that gap very, very quickly on the intermediate tires. If Omar pits now, he's going to be right behind Charlie for sure. Dino's fallen into P8, Wilco battling against Dookie. Dookie, who's on a net P5 now that he decided to start on the intermediate tires. Well, and Wilco now with the slower tire. Omar has set the fastest lap of the race on the full wet tire. It's very interesting to see that. Now Equasar does set the fastest lap in the intermediate tire. Now Charlie sets the fastest lap. The pace between the inters and the wets doesn't seem to be that big, but Omar's managing well those full wet tires. I wonder if he's gonna think about coming into the pit lane, or is he gonna try and stay on those. For how long is he gonna stay on those would be a better question. Equasar is not gaining that much time against his teammate. We got a yellow flag. That seems to be Jordi. Jordi's in the wall. We have to rejoin the track safely now. The car seems to be stuck. Charlie now with the fastest lap of the race. Jordi's been disqualified from the session. And well, it's gonna be our first retirement from today. Joseph closing the gap to Wilco. Meanwhile, Equasar is almost now at the back of his teammate. This won't be a hard move for the man in the Racing Bulls, who, well, his teammate will definitely, should at least be playing for him. I don't think he's gonna put it hard for Equasar. And Omar is staying out. He's not coming in the pit lane, same as Revenge. Revenge maybe may pit now to let his teammate through. It probably would be the best thing to do. But no, he's actually staying out. It's gonna give him a little bit of a tow coming into the main straight. Now Equasar sets the fastest lap of the race. Here comes Equasar at the back of his teammate. Like I said before, his teammate's not gonna make it hard for him. There we go, Equasar down the inside, and yeah, Revenge will let him go. He actually tried to give him a little bit of a fight there. I think he didn't that much, but yeah. Equasar is through and up into P2 of the race. Now he may try and defend against Charlie though. It probably would be the right thing to do. He's trying to help his teammate win the championship. Well, now Equasar will have to focus and try and close up the gap to Omar. Has 15 seconds to close up. But yeah, the intermediate tires might be not as hard as it looks. Revenge starting to struggle on those full wet tires. Omar starting to struggle on those full wet tires as well. But he insists on staying out. This championship may be won on strategy in the end. Equasar 14 seconds behind Omar. Charlie is right at the back of Revenge. If the track dries up, then maybe the job done for Omar if they all have to pit for the slicks. But if that's not the case, then... well, in Revenge there will be defending against Charlie, of course. Needs to help his teammate in the championship fight. Wilco in the pit lane, he wasn't going to be able to last anymore on those tires. Revenge now got a poor exit. Charlie got a way better one, and Charlie's up into P3 of the race. Charlie and Revenge having a little bit of a fight there for that P3 of the race. Meanwhile, Equasar is 14 seconds behind Omar. Charlie is 3 seconds behind Equasar. Omar insisting in staying out. And this final sector is where he's losing a lot of time to Equasar. Equasar closing half a second already. Probably going to be closing more into this third sector. And yes, he's massively closing up the gap here. I would like to see how those tires are looking at the moment for both drivers. Charlie now setting the fastest lap of the race. Is only 2.3 seconds behind Equasar. Revenge, that's dropping a lot of time. Joseph Vesely will need to be on the chase of Dookie. Dookie, who has gone with that different strategy, starting on the intermediate tires, and I wonder if this would have worked well for one of the championship contenders, trying to start this race on the intermediums. Equasar keeps closing up the gap on Omar. And like I said, this is going to be decided on strategy, possibly, this result of this race. The full wet tire is not working out as bad as expected. Look at Revenge, staying out, still managing a 10-second gap to Dookie. A 15-point gap, 15-second gap to Joseph Vesely. But yeah, I wonder for how much will this full wet tires last in good conditions. Equasar now setting the fastest lap of the race. So I didn't realize Charlie just got to pick the time penalty. We've got a 3-second time penalty for cutting corners. Now Equasar is 11 seconds behind Omar. If Omar wins the race, it's going to be very interesting coming into Brazil. As it stands now, it would be separated by only 5 points coming into the last race. If Equasar wins it though, then it's nearly championship done. Would come into Brazil with a 15-point gap probably. And yeah, that most likely would be game over for the championship. Right now Equasar looking a little bit far behind from Omar. Though the race is still long, he is in the better tires. He needs to close up those 10 seconds. How fast is he going to close them up? We don't know. But yeah, Omar need to try something different. Both actually need to try something different to try and go win this race. Omar at the moment surviving on those dead tires. Now he's coming into the pit lane. Now is when Omar's coming into the pit lane. And Equusar will of course have to stay out on the intermediate tires. Now Omar's gonna fall very, very far behind. He's probably gonna be behind the Revenge, which is not good news for the man on the Red Bull. He's coming out of the pit lane. Revenge is gonna be there in the main straight. Revenge is gonna be in the front of Omar, and there goes Revenge. He's gonna try and get the move done, but Omar, no. Omar got the right time in there to be ahead of Revenge after his stop. And yeah, Revenge, nothing he could do there. I guess he timed it very, very well to not lose time to the man in the Racing Bulls. Now we nearly have race distance. What's the difference between the tires? It's 8 lap difference, 9 lap difference between Omar's tires and Equusar and Charlie. Well, it's now the one who has to close up the gap. We'll see how big the difference can be. He may start closing it very, very quickly. Actually, at the moment, hasn't been able to gain that much time. Equusar in the lead of the race, followed by Charlie, followed by Omar, followed by Revenge. Charlie probably not a threat for Equusar at the moment anymore. Let's not forget Equusar has the doesn't have a penalty, while Charlie does have a penalty. Now, if the track dries up, this will benefit Equusar and Charlie a lot in their fight against Omar. Will benefit Revenge a lot. Revenge is actually coming into the pit lane. Revenge will be falling very, very behind, but he's gonna be on the fresher tires as well. We see now Joseph Vesely, who's closing up the gap to Dookie. He wants to stay alive in this championship fight. Joseph Vesely now will come into the back of Dookie very soon. Has 5 lap fresher tires. Dookie's strategy playing to perfection at the moment. He's probably in a better position than he had expected at the beginning. Dino hasn't really found the pace. At the beginning of the race, he was sticking very nicely to Joseph Vesely. Now he's dropped 7 seconds behind. May be attacked by Revenge as well. Joseph Vesely then at the back of Dookie will go on for the attack really soon. Omar now sets the fastest lap of the race. Omar with a 27.2. A good lap there for the man in the Red Bull now with the fresher tires. He's 10 seconds behind his championship rival. I wonder if he can take these tires to the end of the race. Will be interesting to see that. Following now Joseph Vesely, this could be crucial. Down the inside goes Joseph, gets the overtake done. A nice move for the man in the Haas. That now moves up to P4, a comfortable P4 apparently. But Dookie's gonna wanna fight it back. Dookie thought about a move for a second, but has to back off. And that's Joseph back into P4 of the race. Equusar's actually into the pit lane now. Equusar pit, same as Charlie. They weren't thinking about going to the end of the race then. Now they maybe will be thinking about it. There he goes. I wonder how bad these tires actually were. Equusor in the pit lane, same as Charlie. Now Omar is back into the lead of the race. Staying out actually played really well for him. Maybe they should have done the same. Equusor and Charlie nearly stuck to each other. Well. Both get a nice exit off the pit lane. Now Charlie may want to attack Equusor coming into turn 1. 14 seconds is the gap between Equusor and Omar. Now the thing is if Omar tires will last. Oh, and Charlie has hit Equusor there. Charlie has hit Equusor. A little tap there to the back of the man in the Racing Bulls. Hopefully no damage is being done there. Give me a little moment, I'll be back really soon. Right then, we are back with the Mexican GP. Omar in the lead of the race, followed by Equusor, followed by Charlie. Then comes Joseph Vesely, then comes Dookie, Dino Bino Bambino, Revenge, Pitbull, Wilco, Motorway. Motorway now in the pit lane. Unfortunately, after very good qualifying, his race hasn't been the same. Has not been a great race for him. Charlie picks up another time penalty for multiple warnings. He's already got 6-second time penalty. Joseph Vesely extending those tires a pretty good number of laps. Dino will be closing to the back of Dookie very soon. Well, finishing the race as it stands now, the gap would be only 4 points between Omar and Equusor coming into Brazil. Then Joseph Vesely, would he still be in contention for the championship? I think he would be, but he would need a miracle to be able to win it. I believe probably Equusor shouldn't have pitted this early, but well, now Charlie sets the fastest lap of the race. The gap now would be 5 points between the top two in the standings. Yeah, I believe maybe Equusor made a mistake in pitting a little bit early. We'll see. Maybe yes, maybe not. But well, the gap at the moment would be reduced to 5 points coming into Brazil. Could be a first championship for Equasar. Could be a first championship for Omar. Joseph Vasily at the moment looking very complicated. And really unlikely to think he will be able to win the championship how the race is going now. Equasar keeping the fight with Charlie for P3 of the race. Omar now sets the fastest lap of the race, starts pushing a little bit the car. We're gonna have a fight between Dino and Duki very soon. Battle for P5 of the race. Have Dino now at the back of Duki. Duki taking the inside line. Dino around the outside. Revenge is gonna join the fight very soon. Charlie now starts losing ground against Equasar. It's a little bit of a slider into the entry of the corner. Equasar also, well, losing a little bit of time to Omar as well after he did the flying lap. And now Equasar will try and close up the gap to the man in the Red Bull. At least as much as he can. I don't think any of this is stopping again. Omar then did the right call in staying out. Well, the only thing that could change this race would be a safety car. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. But yeah, safety car would definitely change this race. Dino defending against Revenge here. Actually, a safety car would make it great for Joseph Vasily, who may be able to get that Oh, that's a hit from Revenge and Dino Vino Bambino. Now we'll see into the main straight. He's gonna try and attack again on the fresher tires. Dino trying to attack Duki on the fresher tires, and yeah, here's where I say I believe Equasar made a mistake in coming into the pit lane again. He was, at least should have tried staying out a little bit more. You see Duki, 22 lap old intermediate tires. I believe it was definitely possible. There goes Dino on the inside line. Revenge misses the braking point. Revenge off the road there. He gets a 3-second time penalty. Just braked very, very late. Gonna have an intense fight here for that P5 of the race. Dino with a time penalty, Revenge with a time penalty as well, and Duki with one, with 9 seconds of penalties. Omar setting now another fastest lap of the race. Charlie with another time penalty, 9 seconds already. Definitely not anything to worry about for Equasar about his P2. So yeah, we gotta go then with 4 or 5 points separating the top 2 in the standings into the last race of the season. But yeah, safety car could change all that. Safety car could, well, change the outcome of this race. Dino has had a bad slide there. And now it's gonna be, oh, Joseph's in the pit lane. We got a yellow flag in sector 1. That's, motorway's gone off the road there and now rejoins in a safe manner. But, well, thankfully it was a ghost car. He does that in front of Equasar and in front of Charlie. And Revenge finally getting past Dino Vino Bambino. Revenge will now go on an attack for Dookie. Well, I nearly saw Charlie off there, but yeah, he wasn't off. He's having a bad slide in there. That's a 27-second gap to Dookie. It's a big difference between the top 3 and the rest of the grid. Well, it's a big difference between Omar and Equisar already. Here comes Revenge at the back of Dookie. Is gonna send a dive here down the inside into the final corner. Gets the overtake done. It's a nice move for Revenge there. Moves up to P4 of the race. Revenge Dookie though will get the better exit. Will try to fight back and take the place again. Against Revenge now 29 seconds behind the car in front. Dookie on the slipstream off Revenge. Revenge though with way better tires is gonna stay in front. Dookie is gonna a little bit off there. Dino Vito Bambino will try and close up the gap now to Dookie once again. Only a 7-lap difference separating these two. And Joseph Vesely with the fresh intermediate tires. Already planning to go to the end of the race. We'll see if he can start setting fastest laps and stuff with this fresher tires. Maybe he cannot win today, but he can try and pick maybe that fastest lap point. He should be on for a P4 finish, I believe, how things are looking. I think a P4 is pretty likely for Joseph Vesely. I think he has the pace to try and chase after Revenge, who would be his hardest rival. Dino and Dookie should be an easy catch, having in mind how old the tires of these drivers are. Following now, Joseph Vesely is going to be closing up the gap to Dino Vito Bambino. Into the third sector he goes. Here he's gonna gain a lot of time. Dino now closing up the gap to Dookie. Dookie finally comes into the pit lane. Dino Vito Bambino will stay out a little bit more. Probably not gonna go to the end of the race. Would be a very hard decision to make. That's one more place then for Joseph Vesely. Is gonna move up to P6. Wilco, who again after a very good qualifying has been unable to get a good race on. Joseph quickly closing the gap to Dino Vito Bambino. And actually Dino's coming in the pit lane. Yeah, it's not going to have any problems with Joseph Vesely. Joseph Vesely then now will be trying to close up the gap to Revenge, who will be his last realistic chance of gaining any position. If, yeah, like I said before, if there's no safety car. With a safety car, things would change a lot in today's race. You have probably a late minute fight between Omar and Equisar as well for the race win. But how it stands now, I believe Joseph Vesely, his best shot is a P4. Nothing else than that is going to be all that he's going to be able to gain today. Joseph needs to close up a 7-second gap. Charlie comes into the pit lane. Equusar will probably stay out. Charlie, nothing to worry about for him. He has a pretty... Well, he has a big gap behind him. He's gonna try and take the fastest lap of the race, for sure. He's going for that. He's gonna be 23 seconds behind Equusar. That was a very long stop, actually. Just wants to finish safe this race, I would say. Now, Joseph Vesely Joseph still closing up the gap to Revenge. With an Equusar and Omar has saved a lot of battery, will start deploying a little bit now. Maybe try and push and try and get himself that extra pit stop as well. Equusar has the tire advantage, a little bit of a tire advantage. 3-lap fresher tires compared to the man in front of him. Equusar will not come into the pit lane, would be a wrong decision to take. Equusar now deploying the battery. He's probably gonna try and keep Omar in range of that pit stop to not allow him to pit once again. Then Equusar can try and go and take the fastest lap of the race. We'll see if that's gonna be the case or not. Meanwhile, Charlie's not really closing the gap to Equusar's 23.4 seconds behind. Joseph Vesely is flying now and closing up the gap to Revenge. Meanwhile, Dino Bino Bambino 2.6 behind Dookie. Dookie at the back of Wilco. Pitbull's on the hard, same as Motorway. What is this? Both drivers on the hard compound of tire. What's the idea behind this this joke? What are they trying to play? Well, they've gone to the hards to finish this race. They're testing the track apparently to see if the hard tires actually have a thing on this track, which obviously they don't. It's a bit of a joke idea to do this. I wonder what's behind this weird decision to go on for the slick tires and go for the hards, actually, because they could have gone at least for the softs, you know, or the mediums. They instead go for the hard set of tires. They may actually crash out and bring out a safety car as it's looking. Might not be the case, but yeah, who knows? Maybe Pitbull decides bringing out a safety car at the late moment because of this clown decision of putting slicks on a wet track. And then now blocking Equusar as well. Meanwhile, we gotta keep following the fight between Joseph Vesely and Charlie and Revenge. I'm sorry, Joseph. That will be closing up the gap to the man in the Racing Bulls. This also for the championship. Let's not forget Revenge's Equusar's teammate. Would be helpful to have one rival less in the contention for next week. Joseph's gonna be falling a little bit behind in the standings, though a miracle could still give him the title. Equusar 20 seconds behind Omar. Omar still wants to get that fastest lap point. He's gonna need to increase the gap much more though. Having in mind Charlie was like around 24 seconds behind. I guess Omar's gonna be waiting for the very last moment to pit. Charlie now sets the fastest lap of the race. Dino at the back of Wilco will be attacking for that P7 of the race. Here comes Dino at the back of the man in the kick. And now we'll think about a dive down the inside. It hits the back of him a little bit there. Joseph also closing now the gap to Revenge. For that we're gonna have that last moment battle for P4 of the race. Revenge, who has one penalty, one he got though while fighting, so maybe he could get it removed, which makes it much more interesting because we could actually see him attacking, defending Joseph for position, having in mind he could get the penalty removed. Well, here comes Joseph Vasily, 2 seconds behind Revenge. Omar that's now gonna meet the back of Dino and Wilco. Got a yellow flag. I wonder what was that. Probably one of the William guys. Anyway, I believe it's too late for a safety car at the moment, so we're not gonna have one. Joseph 1.3 seconds behind Revenge. Closes up the gap. Now we'll see if Omar's gonna pit for try and get fastest lap. Probably will be in the range to do so, though if he fails he will end up behind Equasar, and that may cost him the race win. 22 seconds is the gap between him and Equasar. Charlie now sets another fastest lap of the race, closes up the gap to Equasar, though it's really pointless at the moment. We're gonna have the fight between Joseph and Revenge now. And Omar suddenly starts dropping a lot of time. Now Echo starts dropping a lot to Omar. Omar may be pushing hard now. It's 22 seconds behind Echo from Omar. I wonder if Omar is going to come into the pit lane for that fastest lap of the race. He seems to be pushing now. Echo should be pushing as well to try and not allow him do that. Omar's in the pit lane. I guess he believes he's gonna need a little bit more to warm up those tires. The gap might be just enough to come out in front of Equasar. Equasar is coming into the final corner. I believe it should be enough, possibly. Omar out of the pit lane now, and yeah, it's gonna be much in front of Equasar. Though Equasar can try now play the same game, can try and come in for the fastest lap, having in mind he's not going to lose to Charlie. Try and do the same maybe. But I believe Equasar may just want to finish the race how it is. The gap would probably be 4 points. Charlie may try and pit again as well to get the fastest lap. We'll see, because he has a 24-second gap to Revenge. Now here comes Joseph Vasily at the back of Revenge. He's going to try and attack all the way down the inside. He's going to try and go maybe now. Not the moment yet. He's going to wait a little bit more. Omar trying to take that fastest lap of the race. Pitbull's in the pit lane. He's changing tires now to the mediums. doing a lot of clown stuff there at the back. Joseph Vasily at the back of Revenge. He's going to be looking to take that 4th place of the race today. Here comes Joseph Vasily. It's not the right place to make the move. Now Joseph gets the overtake done because Revenge has gone off the road. I wasn't expecting that to happen, but yeah, the older tires, the pressures, made Revenge fall down into P5 of the race. And then Omar is now aiming for that fastest lap point. Charlie did not pit again to try and take the fastest lap himself, so that's going to be it for him. So I guess Omar's going to be taking it once again with these fresher tires. He definitely was the fastest driver on track today. We follow him now into the main straight. And as he got the fastest lap already, we'll see. And yes, he has fastest lap for Omar. Omar's got the fastest lap of the race. So final lap then, and Omar's gonna take another victory, though still not leading the championship. He's gonna be 4 points behind Ecosor coming into the final round, and then it's gonna be all to play for in that last race of the season. Ecosor, who's struggling a little bit on the tires, but yeah, he's totally safe there while he doesn't get a puncture, which should definitely be fine, having in mind people like Wilco, for example, have gone longer with those intermediate tires. But it's another solid P2 for the man in the Racing Bulls that's still in the lead of the championship. Joseph Vesely, though, nothing he can do about Charlie's position. Already safe in that P4 of the race. Following now, Omar is going to take another solid victory starting from behind. Was much more dominant than in Vegas. So we follow now Omar into the final corner. And in the line goes Omar. Is going to take victory in Mexico. And that's going to be another fastest lap for him. 4 points the gap between the top two in the standings. We follow now Ecosar into the line. He's going to take second today. Charlie will take third. That's Ecosar hitting the wall there, but after he already finished the race. Joseph Vasily will come in fourth. He's still alive in the championship, though. He is not out of it yet. Was 15 points behind Ecosar. After this is gonna be 23 points if I'm not wrong, so basically would need a miracle to win the championship coming into the final race of the season. 23 points then separate the top three in the standings. Joseph Vasily will come to take fourth of the race. And well, what a season finale we are gonna get next week into Brazil. It's gonna be the perfect place to finish this season. Revenge will come now into the line to take P5. Dookie versus Dino. Dino's got another time penalty, so he's not gonna finish anything better than that P7. I don't know if he's gonna lose to Wilco. No, I believe he's lapped. Yeah, Dino finishes in front then. And yeah, Pitbull and a Motorway in a totally different story. Gotta say, was a pretty exciting race, interesting considering the strategies. Maybe not the best on track race, but it sets us up for a great finale next week. It's been quite a while since the championship has been decided in the final race. 4 points only separating the top two, so basically whoever wins next week is gonna be the champion of season 12. Can it be Omar, who's in a very strong streak? Could be Equasar if luck plays his way. Or it could be Joseph if something chaotic happens with the top two. So yeah, nothing set yet. Still have that final race to go. Gonna go on with the post-race interviews then. Well, and that's the national anthem of Morocco and Austria once again. And well, Ecosort says again, a masterclass from Omar, and congrats, I can't make this comes, David, mate. So yeah, no worries, mate. And well, we'll be definitely looking into your championship fight next week. I mean, the championship's still alive, anything can happen, you never know. So, well, we'll see what happens in Brazil though. we'll go on with the post-race interviews. We'll see if Omar and Charlie will join us. Well, so no post-race interviews today. Then next week we'll see what happens. We got then a championship, three championship contenders separated by 23 points. We got then Equasar at the front, 4 points ahead of Omar, and finally Joseph Vasily, 23 points behind Equasar. We'll see how it goes next week. Of course, Omar would be the favorite considering how streak he is right now, but you never know. It's F1, it's racing. Things can happen. A lot of things can happen in one race, so especially in one like Brazil, and it's a championship decider. So yeah, who of these three will be the champion? We don't know. Nothing will be said till the line is crossed next week, but for now it's all. So thanks to everyone and goodbye.